Brian?
How's it going, lads? What's happening?
All good, brother. How are you?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Can hear you,
good,
crystal,
mate. There was some weird stuff going on in the back end. In the back end there, it's gone now that I'm on. So, yeah.
What kind of weird stuff? What do you mean?
What? Well, just there was some weird audio stuff going on. It was like this. Somebody was having issues. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me because I am an audio guy. I did some troubleshooting and didn't have the issue, and it seems to be gone now. So
is that like a green screen?
Pleasure to be here, guys.
By the way.
It is.
Usually a really bad, like really bad wallpaper job.
A little both. No. You've seen our channel before, John. It was just a matter of I was hoping that I was going to get to have my photo of Conte in the background. That wasn't going to happen today, but that's okay. That's okay. Right. You get to see me in green, and it is what it is.
There we go. Right. How would you like to sum up that game, that circus show?
Oh my god, how does anybody sum up that game? The first 30 minutes was incredible. It was obviously that first little period of time with a new manager where you're like, there we are, we're in it, we're on it, we're doing the things you'd want us to do. Sonny gets an early chance in the first couple of minutes, probably should have finished it, but keeper made a good save. It was just kind of the excitement was there. Seeing Conte on the bench, every time I looked at him on the bench, I was like, this is just strange. This is just really strange, but I love it. I loved it. It was great. And then of course Spurs did what Spurs do, and made it really uncomfortable, and let in a arguably a goal that shouldn't have happened, but happens sometimes with the team that ends up being sort of trying to get to a level with the situation they're in. And then of course they score again, 7 minutes, 2 goals in 7 minutes after the 30th minute. And I was just going, oh my God. And of course, I think everybody across social media and every Spurs fan was going, welcome to Tottenham Hotspur, Antonio Conte. Because it was that absurd. It was just frustrating. And of course, to be fair to them, they did well, but we had some issues with certain players, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah, it was incredibly entertaining. I enjoyed it more than I've enjoyed a Spurs game in a long time, despite how stressful it was. It was a lot of fun.
That's actually a great way. The enjoyment was back. We got a little bit nervous. Brian, you were saying we'll talk about some players. Tell me 2 that stood out for you in a good way, and then we'll deal with the negative.
All right, I'll start with the good way. I thought Sergio Reguilon, and I just want to talk about the wingbacks generally in the system in a 3. I thought Sergio Reguilon and Emerson Royale, despite some of the issues they had defensively, which I think will come with Conte sort of getting the best out of them when it comes to going forward and coming back, like that. I think that's going to be something that we'll have to deal with. He'll have to deal with is how to do both and how to understand how to do both. But I thought going forward, especially in that first half an hour, they were incredible. I thought Everson made a couple of errors, and he got too far forward and kind of screwed himself a little bit. I thought Reguilon was quite good going forward, and he provided that space that we've been wanting from our wingbacks that haven't really been able to be wingbacks. They've been kind of like reserved, and so I would say that about the positives when it comes to those players in that situation.
Okay, so let's move on to negatives. That laugh means we've got a bit to come. Here we go. Go on.
Well, I mean, Eric Dyer. You know what? This is the thing about Eric Dyer, and this is the thing will always be about Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer seems really good most of the time. And then in the moment when it matters the most, he shits the bed. This is what we saw in this game. You see his face, and you can see him literally shitting his pants. He's like looking up in the air, and the ball goes over his head, and all of a sudden poo comes out of his butt. It's just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing in the situation? You're not making good decisions. And I think putting him in the center of the 3 was an error from Conte. I would rather have seen Romero in that center of the 3 and Dyer on the left side of it. And of course, it could have been either Sanchez or Tanganga for me on the right side of that. But yeah, it was that. And I think, I don't know, like, was there another player that I was bothered by? I don't know. I can't think of any. I think of another player that specifically was as problematic as Dyer was, that we all know about Dyer. I mean, some of the substitutions. I thought bringing on Winks for of course we'll maybe get into this, but bring on a Winks for Skip was a bit like, I mean, one is clearly better than the other and better than the like. Why would you make that shift? But to be fair to Winks, he wasn't terrible when he came on. But yeah, that was the key thing about our defense was Dyer again, not being up to snuff. Really, just sadly. I mean, he does everything right and then does everything wrong in 30 seconds.
Do you know what? I actually thought, believe it or not, he had a good second half, Dyer.
Yeah, but
that's Dyer though. It's those moments though, isn't it? Those moments,
Johnny,
like you said,
it's
like he plays great for 89 minutes, but a couple of brain farts that cost you. Yeah,
almost 95 minutes he plays great, but in that one moment that matters the most, he shits the bed, and you're just going, oh, if you could just get that moment right, it would be fine. And that's the thing. And maybe Conte can, work that out of him a little bit. But that's my biggest frustration. What I just want to point out generally from a general perspective about this is, of course, this is Conte's first game in charge. He's been managing for a day and a half. He learned a lot from this game, from every player that played and every player that came off the bench too. He got a really good understanding of what he's got to deal with and what things he needs to do.
Do you know what's a player we haven't spoken about, and I think that we should do today? What do you think of Ben Davies today? Because obviously he's got a lot of slack. He played in a back three, which he does for Wales. What do you think, Brian?
I think he did okay. I think he got himself a little too far forward when Reguilón was next to him and thinking he was still playing a left wing back when he was supposed to be playing the left side of a three. And when you do that, sometimes you end up taking your left wing back and putting them in a position, and that happened a couple of times. It wasn't terrible, and it didn't result in any scenarios where we gave up a goal or gave up a serious chance. But it does, and I think that comes down to coaching. I think that'll be a scenario where, like, if he does play in that left side of the three, here's your position, stay in it, let Reguilón do the marauding forward on the left side of that wing. That would be my thought. But I don't think he was bad. I didn't think of him at any point. It was like, oh my God, Davies, which we did in the previous match.
Let's just do this quick fire, right?
Oh God, here we go.
Remember, it's quick fire. So, man of the match,
Hugo Lloris,
worst player, and hairdo.
Yeah, you're a part of the hairdo. Wait, we've got to pick a position.
Huh?
What position are we going to give him?
Let's give him anywhere in defence he can have.
Okay.
Where are we starting?
You can pick any defender.
Oh no, let's do man of the match.
Man of the match,
worst player, and hairdo.
And then crazy hairdo or funky hairdo.
We're going to give you the defence, and you have to pick a crazy haircut or any kind of iconic haircut.
Any kind of haircut. Okay, so for man of the match, I am going to. I saw in some of the comments on the live stream. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. Sorry. Man of the match, Hugo Lloris. Thank you. I appreciate that. What was the second one?
Worst player.
Eric Dyer.
All right. And hairdo
in this game or just generally?
No, generally over history, Spurs history.
Because he made an appearance, I'm going to go with Toby Alderweireld.
Yes, iconic. Yeah, I mentioned. Off air, I mentioned that iconic haircut. Gets his haircut in Cock Foster's. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he can head the ball over and over again in the box and it doesn't change.
How does he get it so?
He's got
lots of
product, guys. Lots and lots of product.
He's got a contract with some product.
It's like he put super glue in his hair.
Yeah, probably.
He should be marketing that shit because he's already rich, but he'd be making more money off of that for sure.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Damn right.
Brilliant. All right, Brian.
Right. Thank you, lads.
Great.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Brian,
having
I
you on,
will
mate.
see you, or I'll speak to you Saturday.
Saturday. Tottenham on tour. Pleasure to be here, and fantastic stuff, guys, today and forever. Love WeAreTottenham TV. The tattoo on Brian's shoulder says everything.
Exactly. Today was one crazy.
It's been a great day, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful
entertaining day.
And we're gonna put it on our channel too, with a little bit of a preview from Brian and I. So check that out on Tottenham on tour as well.
Yeah, please check out their channel.
Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, Brian.
I'll speak to you Saturday.
Cheers.
See you later, brother.